When did you start using the solution-focused model, and how did that come about?
Well, that came about. How did that come about? It's interesting because of the slight exposure to the MRI brief therapy in the adolescent unit in the mid 80s. I was very interested in those ideas, and then I did my social work training, and I was asking the lecturers there if they knew of these ideas, and they didn't, and they sort of poured cold water over them a little bit. And then I became a social worker. As I said, it was difficult find to find a place for the therapeutic side of social work that I thought was a crucial part of it. So but these ideas, it was like I was just to sort of mix practice models, it was like I was in a latency period almost with this brief therapy. Having come across it in the mid 80s, trained 87 to 89, and then 90, 89, 90, 91, 92, getting used to this childcare social work with the emphasis on assessment and child protection and duty work and managing children in care and arranging for foster placements and all of this. And so while I was learning that job, the therapeutic side of things, I think I put on the back burner, or it was just put to one side. And then having become competent enough, I guess, at what the job entailed, I was able to look at the therapeutic side of it once again. And I think it was the book by Brian Cade and Bill O'Hanlon, A Brief Guide to Brief Therapy. It had just been published. It was 92 or 93. And I saw it somehow and bought it, and that reawakened my interest in these ideas. And I realised that I could perhaps try and use some of these ideas in my work. And it was the first time I'd come across the idea of exceptions in any clear way. And I thought, well, what a nice idea, and why not ask about exceptions rather than just work on the problem? And at the time, there was one family I was working with where there was a single mother and two sons, and the sons were always fighting with each other. And I can remember reading this idea about exceptions and thinking I can have a go at that. And so this would have been about 1993. And so asking these boys one day when they were talking about this, or their mum was talking about them falling out with each other. And I said, can you tell me about a time when you managed not to? You know, when there was something happened that you might have fallen out and you did something else instead. And they could. And they told me about a time when they hadn't fallen out and they'd got on okay. And then I didn't know what to do next. You know, and I probably just said, well done, or that's great, or something, and didn't know how to proceed. That's just one example of my early stumbling with these ideas in a very general sense, and not really knowing how to continue with asking questions in this way. And I 1995, and I've been qualified for 6 years. I just had this sense of wanting to just do more than what I was doing in child protection work, and to, in particular, maybe develop my therapeutic skills. And I spotted a course run by Brief, which was then called the Brief Therapy Practice. So I went on this course in September '95 with Chris Iverson at Brief. And so what happened, I think, is that these ideas that I'd come across I'll come across once again, I guess, in Brian Cade and Bill O'Hanlon's book, that I'd tried to put into practice and just didn't know how to do it. So reading a book wasn't enough. And going on the course with Chris, just because I was, so doing the training course, because it involved so much practice and sitting down in 2s and 3s and 4s or whatever and just asking questions, I was then able to go back to work and actually do it. Right? So it was that training course in 1995 was the real shift, actually.